Looks like a motorbike. Oh, it's a scooter. Scooter.
Okay, so we've got a few things today. We've got the battery box here, which I've just put some rust converter on this end. I'll whack another coat on just to make sure that we protect that, because I want to get that painted. The inside needs a bit of a clean up. We've got 2 foam bits that I'll replace as well, because these are all dry rotted out. I mean, look how crusty that is. Well, I don't really want to take off all the rust, because you can see in there's a bit of a hole. Probably getting a bit thin in places. So we'll just rust convert that and get into painting it. That's that side done. It's coming out pretty nice considering I've done bugger all prep. So that's pretty good. The other part that I'm looking at doing is the Kickstart assembly. So we've got obviously the kick that we've done before, and it goes onto this rod here. So I've bought a chain and a sprocket, so that sort of goes on there, and I've got the spring to go on there as well to return it. I don't really have a nut for this end yet, so I'll have to go and buy one. I've got this thing here which fits it. Looks about M12. Don't know if it's metric yet. We'll find out. The chain comes from here down to the Kickstart down there. The other thing I forgot to mention, so I've got most of these parts. The things that are missing is the last 3 here. So we just need a large washer, a nut, and a wood drop key. So that key I don't have. It's going to be very small. There's a groove in here. There is a groove, and there's a corresponding groove in here as well. You know, you can see the size of my fingers compared to that groove is quite small. So we'll make up a key to go in there. You can see the kick comes down like this. I've got the front end up the top there. This is the keyway that I've made so far for this bit in here. The problem is that this has a bit of a dip in the middle, whereas I didn't realise that at the time. Made this flat and I thought it just had a raised edge at the end there, so I thought it would sit in there. You can see it dips in like that and then raises up at the end there, so it's kind of a crescent shape in there. Instead of using this, I might remake that key. Okay, so I've got my template. I've got that key finished. You can see it's a half moon shape. So that just slides right into there. And then we've got the kick sprocket. Slides over the top like that. This guy needs to come off. Apparently we can wind that out. There's a spring in there as well that might. So we'll get that out, and then we can get on the assembly. When we're trying to pull this bottom bit around, this won't be in the way. So hopefully that can get on there pretty nice and easily. Try to be as careful as you can with it. The manual says place it in here with the long bit down. Obviously place this on top of it. This needs to go this way, so it comes a little bit bound up. So we've got to locate that into that hole, and then we should be able to try and get this around. So what we're trying to do is we've got the bottom of this, it just needs to come around up here. Now the back of this can come back through, and we're to hook it up into the bit down there. We'll pop this guy in there. That link's in there now. So we've got the spring in there, our key's in there, so that's turning that over. And we push this down, it's obviously turning it into tuning. Okay, job done, I think. We can pop this guy back in there. So this does pull it around, and it does return. I guess we're happy with that. The other thing I'm looking at is I've got this piece here. This is the front section, it goes underneath the wheel in here. See, it goes underneath in here, basically to protect the cables and stop dirt getting up there. But you can see it's got these two holes here, and they basically are supposed to, it's supposed to have a loop that goes into there. So basically this is supposed to come off here and have almost a 90 degree to bolt into there. Obviously this doesn't have that, so what I'm thinking is I've got a bar down here, and I'll pop this across here like this, and then I might rivet to it another piece here, and I can just bend that out. And basically the idea, you can see, we'll have this here, and this bit can come out so we can bolt it to it. That's the part so far, so we've got that comes up like this, and then that going onto there. Alright, so there's our part. Bear in mind we've still got to bang a hole in there. Once we decide where that adjustment is, and we might bring this hole forward as well. So I've got a couple of updates. I decided to paint this. And I found some of this. What's exciting about this, so I'm going to use this instead of the old karate stuff where I can. So that means we can try and start getting the front stuff put on. Pretty happy with that, we'll see how that fits. Perfect.